Joe Rogan recently weighed in on the shocking situation unfolding around Ilia Topuria, and it has cast real doubt over what lies ahead for one of the UFC's most feared champions. In a surprising turn, the fighter once expected to rule his division for years has pulled back from public view, stepped away from championship focus, and shifted his attention to matters beyond the octagon. Instead of fighting, Topuria is now prioritizing his personal life, including family responsibilities and a divorce dispute that has quickly escalated into a major and highly public controversy.
Yeah. Well, she's taking photos with rappers and shit, putting it on Instagram.
No.
Yeah. They try to
Put a fucking knife right in your spirit.
This is the mother of your children, and this lady is a monster. There's a lot of ladies like that because you hooked up with a guy who's an incredibly special human being. You not just a UFC world champion, but a 2-division world champion superstar who the whole world wants to see, and you're his wife. So you're like, oh, look at me. And then he doesn't want to be with you anymore. Well, I'm gonna take you down. Reputation destruction. That's what they really are experts in.
Voy a volver a ver a mi niña muy pronto, entonces no estoy nada agobiado, estoy muy tranquilo, por favor. Si me dejáis paso. No.
¿Por qué estáis aquí? Cuéntanos.
Es por la custodia de tu hija, Ilia.
Por favor, tenemos que pasar.
Espera, Ilia.
Pero por favor.
Nieto, tú estás como un descanso. ¿Cómo estás tú también, personalmente?
¿Cómo te encuentras tú?
¿Cómo te encuentras, Ilia?
Cuando salga, tal vez.
¿Cuál es tu prioridad ahora mismo, Ilia?
Mi prioridad es mi hija, mis hijos, mi familia, esa es mi prioridad.
Really? Damn. Who says you can't meet your wife in Miami?
You can find your wife in any place in the world.
You hear that? Put that on Only in Date on Instagram. You can meet your wife in Miami.
Alright, let's roll.
Put it on Only in Date. It's hilarious.
Every year. But why are you saying that?
Huh?
Why are you saying that?
Everyone says that.
Because you go to the party and this is the only place you see. Like you don't know the another part of Miami of people that just they want.
They're normal.
Yeah.
Best place to work out too, Miami, because you can just walk outside and run in the water.
Anybody get under your skin. Somebody that knows to say something that triggers. They see your face is saying something though.
I think the only person is my wife. She's the only person.
I'm not going to say I have a ton of confidence in this, but if it comes true, it'd be a cool prediction to have, and that is Ilia comes back. But the bolder prediction is he loses. He comes back too soon, still dealing with all this bullshit, and ends up losing because he's not in the right headspace. But I think Ilia is a smart guy. That's why I'm, kind of on the fence about this prediction a little bit, right? I'm not saying like, I really believe this prediction or anything. But man, fighters don't like not fighting. They don't like sitting on the sidelines. I can speak from my own experience. Every time I got injured and someone wants to watch a UFC card, it's hard to watch. You can't sit there and watch it. You want to be the guy in there. You want to be the one that people are watching. And I think he's going to have that. He's healthy. He's not, it's obviously he's dealing with some pretty heavy shit, but he's healthy. He wants to come back and compete and fight. And I think he'll end up breaking to that, and he'll end up coming back. But it's not going to be a good time, and he's going to be dealing with shit. And, that's kind of two bold predictions, to be honest.
Over the past few weeks, reports and claims about Topuria's separation from his ex-wife have spread rapidly across social media. While nothing has been legally proven or confirmed in court, the sheer volume of chatter has already rattled the MMA community. Rumors are circulating, reputations are under scrutiny. Suddenly, the UFC finds itself with a champion who appears more consumed with navigating personal turmoil than chasing fame and dominance in the octagon.
Like a division, crack on.
Enter into genuine title. The people who say it's not a genuine title have never won a title in their life.
Yeah, people keep saying, you're probably going to end up like Tom when you're winning, it'll get upgraded. And why would that happen though? Because people are saying Ilia's not going to be back for at least a year. I don't know, lad. I want to show everyone that I can beat him, but at the same time, if I have me waiting, like Tom was waiting for John, then no. Just vacate, lad, and let the division crack on.
I think we should be Paddy and Ilia. I think that's the biggest fight now.
I believe through the headlines is that Ilia was walking away from the UFC Championship belt, thus elevating Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett to undisputed title. Now, once I dug into this, I can't quite recall why I thought it in the first place. I mean, once I dug into it, there was nothing in the article that said that Paddy and Justin was going to be undisputed, or that the UFC was accepting, or that Ilia was surrendering a belt back. And I was talking with Daniel Cormier. Daniel's always got the inside scoop. It's like, hey Daniel, you just got back from calling this event. What is going on there? Is Justin and Paddy moved up? And Daniel said no. He said that essentially in all of these articles and all of these news waves that have now just come out on Ilia Topuria, it's repackaging what we already knew. It was Ilia coming in front of this thing and saying, hey, I'm dealing with some big stresses in my personal life, and one of the great concerns that I have is that there's going to be a claim made against me for domestic violence, and I'm sitting here and I'm just waiting for this shoe to drop. And until it does, and until I can deal with that, try to work my own personal things back into order, I won't be competing. Now, I think a lot of you are going to hear what I just said and go, hey Chael, you're 2 weeks late on the story. No, that is the story. The story is that this made headlines for something that we were already told a couple of weeks ago, and there is no escalation from that, meaning Ilia Topuria is not vanquishing or having stripped from him.
What makes this scenario stand out is how Topuria handled it. He didn't just disappear quietly, avoid the spotlight, or issue a quick PR statement. Instead, he essentially put his championship ambitions on hold, signaling that his personal life takes priority over fighting for now. Joe Rogan reportedly commented on the matter, emphasizing how harsh it can be when athletes are simultaneously dealing with public scrutiny, legal battles, and private turmoil. This isn't hype or promotional banter. This is real-life challenges clashing with the demands of elite competition.
Train MMA. I do boxing classes, wrestling classes, because when the training camp comes, I try to mix it up and polish everything that I have been able to learn, everything that worked for me in wrestling and boxing. I want to develop all the time my knowledge. I want to get better all the time. And I can get better if I only go and train MMA. I need to learn new techniques, like in BJJ. You never end up learning. One thing is what you know, and the other is what you do with what you know.
Who do you think should be next for Ilia?
Who should be next for Ilia? 55 has always been so cloudy at the top. Maybe Gaethje. I think him going to 170 to fight Islam, if Islam wins, is a stretch. Islam's big, man. I've never seen Ilia in person, but he seems smaller. I know obviously he can knock anyone out. I do think if they fight, Ilia can knock anybody out from 45 to 170. He has the skills, the power, the technique, and but we've just never seen him in there with somebody that big and somebody with that caliber of wrestling. But I think he should defend the 55 title a few times before that's talked about. We'll see.
Something happened with you and Paddy, or
yeah,
something happened with you guys, right? Yeah. What was that all about? I saw the video.
He said some stupid shit about Georgia, about my country. He said something like, "Now I understand why Russia is throwing bombs to Georgia." And like, bro, you never live in a situation where your country had a war. I lived there in 2008. Don't joke with that. He said that on Twitter.
And then you went and you guys were at the same event and you ran into each other?
I saw him and I went to after him like boom.
And it wasn't promotional.
English, yeah?
Hey.
Speak English.
You want to talk to me like the man to man? You said something about me. I went to your country. I slap your face. I get at the waist and grin. I walk like a king in your street.
Are you talking English?
And what you did? What you
Is
did,
that
man?
English?
Yeah, of course I do.
Speak English for the people.
Shut up.
Not German or Spanish like you're from.
I'm talking in English and fuck you in English y que te follen en español.
Yeah, Espanol because you're Spanish. It's pretend to be Georgian when you're
what
not.
you- what-
were
what
born
I
in
did to
Germany
you in your
and you live in
country,
Spain.
try to do it in
You were
Spain,
born in
and
Germany
you're gonna see
and
what
you
gonna
live in
happen to you,
Spain.
you
You're a
fucking
little
rat.
mongrel.
Shut up.
That's what you are. You're a little mongrel.
Shut up. If not, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna crush your face right here.
Do it then,
Like a
you little
mushroom.
fart.
You have another question?
Do it. Do it then, you little What? Do it. Do it. Come on, do something then. Do something, stand up. What'll you do? You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing, you little fart. Go and sit back down. Sit back down, you little puta.
Fuck. Everything he talks.
Little mushroom. You little chorizo, you Spanish sausage.
Have you allowed yourself to think what a fight with Ilia looks like?
Yeah, I think I beat him up as well. You know what I mean? There's weight classes for a reason. And if he wants to fight me at 155, it'll get seriously messy on his face. No, Ilia's going through a lot of stuff and wish him nothing but the best with it. Know what I mean? That's nothing to do with us fighting. It's nothing to do with being in the cage. So all that around family life, I hope everything goes perfect for him. But he does finally come back and get in the cage.
Here's what many are overlooking. Topuria stepping back doesn't signal weakness. It could actually make him even more formidable. History shows that fighters who take a break recharge mentally. In return, with a point to prove, often come back with razor-sharp focus, almost unstoppable in their drive. Free.
Well done, lad.
Look at me. Look at me.
That was a heavy knockout. I'll give you that respect. But you will never knock me out.
I'm going to submit you.
Knock me out.
You live. What I'm gonna do with
you can't
I'm gonna put my balls in your
you can't knock me out. You know I don't get knocked out.
You get knocked out.
I finish
you. Get knocked out even before the fight.
I finish you, little
Get
man.
your ass from here.
I finish
Get
you.
As a guy who spent time in the cage with Paddy, what kind of a chance do you give Paddy if he gets that Ilia Topuria fight?
Paddy is better than most will give him credit for. His octagon presence was on point. He knew where he needed to be. He was completely okay with getting taken down that first round. He kept great distance, kept me off with the kicks. Topuria being a little bit shorter than me, but great punching power. I think Paddy would have a good chance to keep it past a round or two because he's not going to engage as much as Oliveira did. But ultimately, it's definitely a mismatch. And that's just because we're talking Ilia Topuria. I think Ilia Topuria is easily the most talented guy, not just in our division, but I think in the entire sport.
What about Ilia? Because he's moving up to 155, right?
Yeah, always.
And you guys have a long history.
Yeah.
That press conference 2 years ago was one of the most fucking entertaining press conferences of all time. Your chirps, like calling him like a fucking chorizo sausage and shit.
That's what he should have changed his name to.
That's funny.
He's changed his nickname to a shit nickname, hasn't he? Like Legend or something.
Yeah.
Should have changed it to El Chorizo. Would have been well for you.
What do you make of his like evolvement? Because that was a long time ago, and now he's kind of fucking leveled up like
yeah,
crazy,
he has.
right?
But we always knew he was a good fighter. Know what I mean? Like that's something what pisses me off about him. Even though I hate him and I think he's a bellend, like I wouldn't lie and say he's a shit fighter because he's not. But that's what he says about me, and it made me laugh when he said, "What did he say? He called me fat." That's like, lad, you can't make your weight division anymore that you are champion of, and you're trying to call me fat. He's a midget, lad. He's tiny. He's smaller than Michael Chandler. You'll see what I do to Michael Chandler next Saturday night when I dismantle him, and it'll be a very similar game plan to beat Ilia. He's small. He walks forward, swinging shots. I'll kick him up and down the octagon, and I'll either knock him out or submit him. Like that fight's there down the line. No, 100%. That fight's got to happen. That's a fight that you can have as a pay-per-view main event with no title on the line.
That gives me like chills just thinking about that. The press conferences and shit. That'd be crazy.
The press. They'd have to do a world tour for that, like they did with Aldo McGregor. That'd be fucking hilarious. Yeah, Ilia, you know, it's there anytime. Know what I mean? Anytime, lad.
It seems like they don't know what to do because Ilia moved up. I don't know if Islam wants to fight him or not. So like he's looking for an opponent.
Yeah.
It seems like this fight is really going to decide a lot of stuff in that whole division.
Yeah, it is. As I've said it a few times, like the old guard of the lightweight division, they're all on the way out. We've got Chandler, who's 38. You've got Dustin, Justin, and Charles, who are all 35 and older. I think even Danaher might be 35. Moicano's 38. Dariush is 38. In the next 2 or 3 years, the top 10 is going to look completely different. The only person in the top 10 I can think of who's under 35 is Armin Sarukian. He's just a little posh boy who's had everything handed to him on a silver platter by his dad.
Do you think he actually got injured or no? Or what do you think happened?
No, he's a little bitch ass. That's what you are, Armin. Little boy.
I was confused too, because yeah, we had him on the pod that week too, and then I don't know, he was doing videos too with Nina drama. He was like wrestling and shit.
Yeah. And then he was doing them videos where he flips forward on his neck.
Right.
And then he's saying that he's got a bad back. Dana said, didn't he? It was like Dana shot him down in that interview. I was like, whoa, that's heavy that. You don't want the boss saying that about you. But because he got asked, didn't he, is Armin still number one? Right. And he was like, no, he's going to have to go back to the...
From distractions and noise, they operate with pure purpose. The division is already feeling the ripple effects. Opponents are circling, fans are split on whether Topuria's career is over or just entering a new chapter, and some worry. That time away might blunt his edge, but the potential for a powerful comeback is very real.
Paddy is one of the truest grudges that we have in our sport right now. Some of you might not have known about it, and the rest of you might have forgot about it. But that B-roll and footage exists every bit as much as Masvidal and Leon exist. Ilia and Paddy exist. But how do we get there? One thing that Paddy said about his career, he said, fight Gaethje and then I'll go deal with Charles. But he had a different idea if Ilia won. If Ilia wins and that's the big grudge match, move Gaethje out of the side. He's ready for the title right now.
Paddy Pimblett did come in the cage tonight. There's Armin Sarukian, there's Justin Gaethje. Is that the fight that you want more than anything else?
Yes, that's the fight that I want. With Charles, I had a little bit difficult situation because I really like the guy. He's an amazing human being. But at the end, I was like, this is competition. I have to do my job. But with Paddy, I'm really gonna enjoy kicking his ass. I want that blonde, that Paddy.
People mention me to stay relevant, lad, so I don't care.
I was walking into the hotel and I saw him. I threw the bottle to his face. I gave him a proper right hand.
Speak English for the people.
Shut up. You in English, you get the in español.
You little f***. Go and sit back down.
He's not ranked. He has just a one fight in the UFC. He's nobody. But I want to fight him.
He uses my fame, my publicity, and tries to feed off it because no one cares about his life.
For sure, he needs to win one more fight. If he wins the fight, he can fight for the title. I will give him the opportunity to fight for the title because we have a history behind, so it's going to be a massive fight.
You're a little...
Shut up. If not, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to crash your face right here.
Weight classes, but the beef's there.
I mean, just the levels are they're just so different.
Yeah.
And the UFC knows that. They're not
I feel
stupid.
like Paddy literally is way bigger than Ilia. I'm not saying he'd win or lose. I'm just saying it's crazy to think they're only one weight class difference, but he's way bigger.
Yeah, but if you saw Paddy on weight, close to weight, you'd be like, oh, he's not that huge.
I think you would be like, holy shit, these guys look way different. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Just
Paddy's a big guy. Yeah, height, just everything. Like me and Schmitty standing next to each other. Way bigger than them.
I think the fans would love to see you versus Ilia finally come to fruition, right?
That'd be amazing.
How would that fight play out?
I'd finish him.
Which round?
I don't know. I'd love to be 30 seconds left so I can change his face for 4.5 rounds.
Could Paddy shock the world? What do you think?
You mentioned you want to face Paddy next, obviously, if you do win the title this Saturday. You said that he needs one more fight. How big, obviously not to look past Charles, but how big do you think that fight could be given your history together?
That fight easily could be one of the biggest in the UFC history.
Are there any hard feelings still towards Paddy?
Listen, I don't used to take anything personal in this game. It's all professional.
And with that one fight that you think that he should have, is there someone in the division that you think would make sense in terms of him winning that fight to get the title shot next?
So if he wants to assure his title shot, he has to fight with Justin Gaethje, because if he fights with Arman, I think that Arman is going to beat him. So the easiest path he has right now to get the title shot is Justin.
I'm not going to say I have a ton of confidence in this, but if it comes true, it'd be a cool prediction to have, and that is Ilia comes back. But the bolder prediction is he loses. He comes back too soon, still dealing with all this bullshit, and ends up losing because he's not in the right headspace. But I think Ilia's a smart guy. That's why I'm, kind of on the fence about this prediction a little bit, right? I'm not saying like, I really believe his prediction or anything. But man, fighters don't like not fighting. They don't like sitting on the sidelines. I can speak from my own experience. Every time I got injured and someone wants to watch a UFC card, it's hard to watch. You can't sit there and watch it. You want to be the guy in there. You want to be the one that people are watching. And I think he's going to have that. He's healthy. He's not, it's obviously he's dealing with some pretty heavy shit, but he's healthy. He wants to come back and compete and fight. And I think he'll end up breaking to that, and he'll end up coming back. But it's not going to be a good time, and he's going to be dealing with shit. And, that's kind of two bold predictions, to be honest.
Others argue that it's precisely heartbreak, pressure, and personal turmoil that shape true legends. And the reality is, when Ilia Topuria returns, he won't be the same fighter. He won't step into the cage for hype or validation. Every strike, every move will carry a deeply personal drive behind it.